in. That's how the market is looking right now. But let's just focus and now coming to you, Kunal, in your episode of Kunal's Paathshaala, in your section of Kunal's Paathshaala today, which are the stocks that you've picked out for us, and what are we learning from them?
Thank you so much, Kanishka, as well as Ankita. And as you culminate the Paathshaala sessions, today I've taken a very lighter topic. It's a topic which we call as Burj Khalifa patterns. It's a pattern which is not the usual textbook patterns, but it's a pattern which tells you that how stock prices eventually come into a phase where these stock prices form a euphoric top. And somewhere, I think as a trader or as a market watcher, you have to be very, very careful of. So we'll look at how those patterns shape up into individual stocks. I've taken 3 examples. The classic sign over here is, where for a couple of days or maybe on the weekly charts, depends on the time frame you're looking out for, the stock suddenly comes out of a zone of a massive consolidation and then goes into a phase of a couple of days of a major price uptick. Now, those price upticks are unsustainable price upticks, and that generally met with an immediate price reversal or a correction for stock prices. So that indicates that the stock prices form a euphoric top. We generally get excited when the stock prices come out of a massive consolidation and we see a couple of days of strong price uptick. But then if the stock prices don't see a follow through up move, and if the propensity to reverse is very much on the higher side, that's a stock which you have to be very careful of, because these stocks, they tend to drag as well as reverse the entire uptrend which these stocks generally show. We will take one more example. HEG has been the other stock. As you can see, after a zone of a correction consolidation, the stock showing couple of days of strong price uptick, moving up from 400 to 600 in a matter of couple of trading sessions, and then post that we see the stock reversing back towards 350 mark. So you have to be very careful of such kind of patterns. They generally occur in stocks which are typically low beta. There are instances, we look at the third stock, which is ACC, which is a relatively very moderate beta stock, but even in these cases the stock goes into a zone where for a couple of days the stock prices go into a very strong rally, but then it's been met with a very sharp correction or a no follow through on the upside. So you have to be very careful of such kind of patterns. They generally form on euphoric top prices, euphoric top in stock prices, and that's where I think a trader has to be very, very cautious about.
All right, definitely, Kunal. Your Paathshaala is something everybody watches out for. But Kunal, let me come to you for a market question. We've been watching out for these levels very carefully on the Nifty. We have broken below the 25,200. Where do we go from here on? And in fact, when do we see, what are the levels that you're watching out for really? Because when does this consolidation really end? Because there's a lot of uncertainty that's looming on tariffs. Is it really going to find some direction once there is some certainty that's out? And what are the levels that you're working with?
See, when we look at the market setup, Ankita, I think it's just the tariff nervousness which is causing this kind of a mild correction, I would say very gradual correction onto the indices. Because you look at the rest of the globe, you've seen the Chinese market hitting new highs, a multi-year high. You've seen Hang Seng hitting a very similar kind of a zone. US markets have been doing phenomenally well. European markets, very of the asset classes, dollar index has come back to sub 100 levels. We are almost at 97 on the dollar indices. Brent crude has stopped spiking about that 70-75 dollars per barrel mark. So global asset classes, I think, are in a state of calm, and indicates that the uptrend for many of the equity asset classes is very much intact. It's just that the nervousness which is there around the tariff that's causing our markets to correct. Maybe another 100-150 points on the downside is where we can expect, but I think that should be throwing up a very good opportunity for contra traders who are looking out for fresh buys on the Nifty.
All right, so all that correction on the basis of that nervousness due to tariff-related uncertainty. But on that note, we'll take a very short break. Thank you so much, Kunal, for with your latest session of Paathshaala.